Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Friday afternoon to you all. Hope you guys are doing well. Just want to jump on here and make a quick video discussing this clipper that's going to move through tonight across Missouri, eventually southern Illinois and Indiana, portions of Kentucky, just about all of Kentucky, very small section of northern Tennessee, maybe even southern sections of Ohio, all the way to the Appalachian Mountains. This system's going to move through tonight all the way through Sunday morning and bring a swath of light snowfall accumulations. I have a feeling that some people are not expecting any accumulations off this, but I think this is going to catch some people off guard. So we're going to start off by showing you guys the predicted snowfall accumulations from the latest HRRR model. And here we are. I mean, check this out. I think this is going to happen. Typically, I don't show short range model guidance snowfall accumulations. I just go off the National Weather Service, but they're even calling for this now too, as they have winter weather advisories stretching from central Missouri all the way through St. Louis into Illinois now. But the latest HRRR model going for around 2 inches of snow, going for around 3 to 4 inches in St. Louis between Columbia and St. Louis. I mean, someone could squeeze in 5 inches of snow, and I think this is possible because of the cold air that's moved through and the fact that this snow is going to be falling in pretty cold temperatures. I do not think temperatures are going to be an issue at all. I think this snow could get going as far west as around Kansas City, but I don't think it actually starts to accumulate until you get between Kansas City and really closer to Missouri. But this is going to be pretty narrow. I mean, you go up to Quincy, not expecting anything. Springfield, certainly not expecting any accumulating snow. So this is a narrow band of accumulating snow. So pretty wild stuff. Now, if you shift this a little bit further to the east, and we start to show more of southern sections of Illinois and Indiana all the way through Kentucky, I mean, check it out. If you live in Effingham, you're in the northern extent of this, Carbondale, the southern extent of this, and everybody in between, I mean, maybe 2, 3, maybe as much as 4 inches of snow. And I think that this could verify that much. I have a feeling the National Weather Service is going to stay more on the conservative side, and maybe the conservative side is the right way to go, but I have a feeling this is going to overachieve. Evansville, the latest HRRR model, going for around 2 inches of snow up to Bloomington, maybe an inch or less, Bloomington, Indiana. Going for about an inch or two of snow in Louisville. Elizabethtown, and around 2 inches of snow. Lexington, 2.5 inches of snow, maybe around a half an inch in Cincinnati. And I mean, just basically all of northern Kentucky, central Kentucky, a couple inches of snow, and there's some pockets of 3, 4 inches of snow. And I think this is very possible. If you notice, there's even some dusting amounts going as far south as maybe the northern Cumberland Plateau. I think it's very possible we can at least get some snow flurries down to the northern counties, especially the northeast counties of Tennessee. So I am thinking this is going to overachieve. And I think we're going to get winter weather advisories. I mean, by the time some of you folks watch this, I think we'll have winter weather advisories scattered all through the rest of southern Illinois, if they're not already right now, southern Indiana, all the way through Kentucky. And if I take a broader look at this, and I know this is pretty wide, it's not as zoomed in and better to look at, I would say. Ignore this. This is the epic lake effect snow is already cranking up right now this afternoon. But this is going to bring accumulating snow all the way to the highlands of West Virginia. I think someone could squeeze in a half a foot of snow from this. The higher elevations of Virginia could get an inch or two of snow. The eastern hills of Kentucky, certainly an inch or two. And I do think extreme southern sections of Ohio could get a little bit of accumulation off this, even all the way up to the Allegheny Mountains. So what is the evolution of this? And I'm just going to take a look at the HRRR model for obvious reasons, just because I just showed you the accumulation from it. But I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about the timing of this. So right now, Friday night, right? Well, I'm going to start this around 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. So here over the next several hours, getting after midnight, we're going to start to get some snow showers, some light snow begin to develop. And then by the time we're around 6 a.m. tomorrow, your Saturday morning, November the 30th, look at the snow falling across Columbia, Missouri. Look at the snow falling. I mean, even in Kansas City, light snow begins to fall across St. Louis. And I think that this could be heavy at times by the time we're into 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And I do want to mention There is a football game being played in Columbia, Missouri. Columbia and Arkansas are playing, and I believe they play at 3:30, which is wild. It's an SEC game, right? You know, Southeast Conference, but of course, Missouri, I wouldn't consider Missouri the Southeast, right? But, you know, the Missouri Tigers is an SEC team. But it's pretty wild that we're going to have snow falling before the game for tailgating out ahead of this game. I mean, there could be snowfall. There is going to be snow falling. It's going to be on the ground outside. You know, something like you would, you know, see in the Big Ten or the MAC or something like that. I think that's really interesting, combining the elements of snow with football. But look at the snow falling. Moderate, maybe at times heavy in St. Louis. And then we take it to about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still snowing in St. Louis. Where is the heaviest of this band gonna kind of set up here? You see these dark blues? I think someone could squeeze in 5, maybe 6 inches from this. I know you're thinking, I don't know about that. But I'm telling you, these Clippers like to overachieve. It's snowing like crazy in the southern sections of Illinois. By the time we get into around 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, snowing pretty good in Evansville, Paducah, Kentucky. Could get a little bit of snow, especially kind of a little bit further north and northeast. Still snowing in St. Louis around dinner time. This begins to pull out, maybe some leftover snow showers, snow flurries. And then, I mean, it's showing maybe a little bit of a back-end development from this. So it's still snowing in southern sections of Illinois as of around 10 p.m. Still snowing back in St. Louis. And finally, this pulls all the way out. And it's still snowing in southern Indiana around midnight. And, I mean, even in Frankfort, Kentucky, for example, it's still snowing around 5 a.m. Sunday morning. And we go on and flip it and move further east and showing off Kentucky and everybody else here. We got a football game also in Lexington, Kentucky. Lexington, Louisville rivals. Okay, I believe that this starts at 12 and will likely get done, around 3:30? Well, this is around 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It looks like by the time the game ends, the snow has not arrived yet. So we're not going to get a snow game with the Louisville-Lexington game. And I know I keep bringing that up. I just think that's really interesting because this is kind of far south for this time of the year. Not super south, but pretty far. But here comes the snow. It begins to take over a good chunk of the state of Kentucky as we're getting close to midnight. It's around 11 p.m. Snowing in Lexington. Snowing maybe as far south as Bowling Green. We continue to move this forward. Look, I mean, it's snowing in West Virginia, snowing in Western Virginia, snowing in Eastern Kentucky. A little bit of snow trying to sneak down here into the northeast counties of Tennessee. We still got lingering snow back here in Central Kentucky around 6 a.m. Sunday. And, I mean, we take it all the way to about midday Sunday. And it's still snowing in portions of Eastern Kentucky. I think this has an opportunity to overachieve. I really do. But that's all I got. Just want to give you guys a brief update on that. This will definitely surprise some people who might not be expecting it. But this is uptrending right at the last second. Last second being the fact that this storm system does start over the next several hours. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you again in the morning.